Hey, this is Matt. Once again, welcome back to another video. There's another paid request, this time for Devon. For those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos, topics, reactions, reviews, re-reviews, whatever, feel free to send them either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Now, this is for an episode of a show I never even heard of called Squid Game. It's from Korea. It came out this year for Netflix. About 9 episodes long. He wanted me to watch and review the first episode. Now, this is kind of a drama, building up some characters mixed in with some really quirky take on a game show. Because at first I thought it was going to be like Battle Royale or The Running Man, and it's not quite. It's its own thing, its own animal. And it at least did a decent enough job building up the main character. At least did a decent enough job building up its premise so I understand what's going on. Like the whole Squid Game title, they explain it at the very beginning in black and white. With these kids playing this game, the rules of this game, which I'm sure will be... I'm guessing that's displayed much later in the series, the actual Squid Game, but it's like, okay, we're giving you a little taste of what this game is. And then our lead character is this chauffeur. He's away from his ex. His ex-wife has a new guy. Our lead character has a daughter. He lives with his mom because of hard times. He's a compulsive gambler. He's the type of guy that, he's a selfish guy. He steals from his mom's credit cards. He's not a perfect guy in the slightest. And there are times that he loses and he gets anxiety filled, and then he wins, but then he gets his money stolen from a pickpocket. So he's beaten up by these gangsters. He's saying, hey, you owe us this amount of money. You better fucking pay us, dude. So pretty much we're a guy who is on his last strings, so to speak, and someone's ready to cut the shit out of it. His daughter, I thought the little girl did a decent job. She's telling her dad, you got these bruises on your face. You're free to get into fights, but you're not free to get beaten up by them. And I will say the lead actor, again, he's doing things that are a bit scummy, but I didn't dislike the guy. I thought the actor did a decent enough job. It's just a guy just doing the wrong things, getting himself more and more in the hole. But you can tell he does care for his daughter. He really wants to get a present for his daughter. He gets this other kid to win this claw game, and he's really excited. Gives her the present. Didn't realize that in it was a gun that's a lighter. And you tell from his face, he's like, oh shit. But oh yeah, isn't this a cool toy? And hey, maybe one day you'll use a gun, but this is like a precursor to that. And you can tell that the daughter is just used to disappointment. So she doesn't get mad at her dad. She doesn't cry or anything. She's just kind of used to the disappointment. And I guess it's detailing the hole that our character is in. Because then one day this random guy says, hey, we'll play this game. If you win, I'll pay you 100,000. It's not dollars American. I forget what it says. The currency in Korea. But I'll pay you 100,000. Now, if I win, I get to slap you. And then it does showcase how far someone is willing to go for that chance at, money that is greatly needed to pay his gambling debt, to do all this other stuff, to his daughter's ready to go to America to live with his ex-wife and her hubby. So who knows if or when or if he'll see his daughter again. So he keeps playing this game. He's not ready to give up. He keeps getting slapped over and over again, but he keeps doing it, and finally he wins. And then the guy says, well, hey, The slots are filling up. You want the chance to win more, come to us. And then that's when he finds out that his daughter is ready to go to America. And so it's like, hey, the guy's mom says if you're able to let the court know that you're financially stable, then she could probably stay here as well. Or the court would be more lenient towards you. And so the idea of the pay his gambling debts off, all this stuff. I thought the guy did a decent job. It was decently shot, decently acted. It's an episode, so it's like an hour long, give or take. A little bit less, maybe. So like I say, it did a decent enough job building up the character and what his frame of reference is for the audience as to where he's at in life, how he got to this predicament. I will say it came a bit more alive when the game show aspect started happening, because there's like 450 people there, and there's this big piggy bank, and these people in these weird suits, let's say pink, and they got these weird masks, and say that piggy bank is going to fill up every day, and whoever's the last person. Okay, the first game is red light, green light. Only this is not your typical red light, green light. As you can figure out, spoilers, it's a robotic thing. When its head turns and you haven't stopped fully, I mean fully stopped, the motion sensor will track you and shoot you and kill your ass. And that's when it really does facilitate what kind of show this is, because then a whole shitload of people get killed. Because of course they see one or two people die, they're like, what the fuck, they're trying to escape, and a good chunk of that 450 people are taken out. Now, one issue I have with this whole scene is the thing will say red light, green light, this whole spiel, then it'll turn its head and you have to be frozen. But there are times you look in the background and you see that the people are pretty still. They're pretty frozen. They're not moving at all. And then they just get shot. I'm going, why are they getting shot? Yes, sometimes when they try to be particular, someone didn't stop in time or they did a bit too much moving. But there are times that the lead guy is doing as much movement as other people, but he doesn't get shot and they do. There are times where, like, he's scared and he's trying to, his head's going like this. Technically, he should get shot because, again, you will see people in front of him that are not moving a millimeter, and then boom, they get shot. And I just thought that could have been a bit more consistent. That just seemed a little bit too inconsistent, and I went, well, wait a minute. It took me out a little bit of, well, wait a minute, that person's not moving, he got shot, but the lead guy is moving. Or even, like, you have these other characters, you have this old guy, you have this thug, you have the same pickpocket that fucked over the lead guy earlier in the episode. And, like, she's behind the thug and grabs his head, and he's, like, trying to move a little bit. That right there, even those little movements should have gotten him dead, because there were people that did less that I didn't see move a muscle, and then all of a sudden they get shot. Like, well, why? Like, if each person, like, they twitched their hand like this, or they went, like, make it even more noticeable or just more consistent. So that's, like, the one thing that bugged me about it. But it does create a definite sense of mystery as to, like, what games are going to be played next. Who are some of these characters? Like, one guy saves our lead guy. He's about ready to fall, but the guy catches him, so he doesn't get shot, and they keep going. So like I said, at least that made things a little bit... It did keep my interest to see what would happen next. I mean, I've seen this kind of stuff before. I reviewed something. What the hell was it called? I remember liking it. A lot of people didn't, though. I don't know if I can remember the damn name of the damn movie. which is sad because was a Circle? I want to say it was Circle. Sorry, I gotta check real quick. This is exciting content. Be on a phone. Was it called Circle? I think it was. Which I know a lot of people did not like, but I liked it. And funny enough, that's also on Netflix. Cause that was a movie where 50 people wake up in a darkened room only to find that one of them is killed every 2 minutes or when they attempt to leave. When they realize that they can control which person is selected to die, blocks emerge based on personal values. Again, I thought that was very simple. This is at least a little bit more of a game show quality to it. And there's a little bit of humor, like you have a person that's watching and has this, not articulate, but this unique mask on, and they're playing this song that's meant to be ironic considering the violence that's going on. So there have been movies where people get involved into a game show and then they realize it's something to the death. If it's not a game show, then again some kind of trap or some kind of program, not program, but like some kind of thing about it. I wouldn't be surprised as one of those, oh, there's a bunch of rich people. Rich people set this all up. The rich people pay people off to keep quiet. The rich people do this, and some conspiracy thing. Why? For the shits and giggles. But I mean, there's been other stuff. There was that one called Nerve, where people are made to do these dares, and they ump the ante each time. There's another one that I reviewed. I remember not minding that did something similar to that. So I mean, there's been stuff that's been similar to this, not exactly, but similar. So it wasn't as daringly original as some of the critics have made it out to be, but again, for the most part, it was efficiently done, well done. Like I said, the production value, the acting didn't really bother me. Really not much bothered me other than the game that they had. I thought there was a little bit inconsistent stuff of how some people died and some didn't, and you're not supposed to move, but I felt like some people didn't move, yet they died, all that jazz. So again, that's just maybe that's a little, that's one issue I had so far. And I guess I'm going on and on about because that's the first game we have, and that's a big part of this program. So I think that's something that could have been worked out a bit better. But overall, yeah, didn't mind it. Definitely one interested to see what this is all about, what's going on. Says here, the story will incorporate popular children's games from the 70s and 80s of Korea, such as Squid Game, which is a type of tag where offense and defense use a squid-shaped board drawn in the dirt. Takes place in an unknown location as the participants are locked up until there's a final winner. Says here that it's $38 million US. Whereas that seems a bit small considering, there's certain actors that got paid more than that, at least after the back end and royalties. But, yeah, didn't mind it for what it was, Squid Game, Episode 1. Did not mind it for what it was. It's one of the more decent things of Netflix of recent time span. So, better than shit like Cuties. So, with that said, we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.